Hello, I'm Christian McKay. I'm the Executive Officer of the Montana Board of Livestock. And with us today is Dr. Marty Zalewski, Montana State Veterinarian. And we're putting together this web clip to update people of Montana about the current situation in Montana about equine viral herpes. Marty, give us a background. Let's start with what is the disease that we're dealing with.
Well, ehv, as the veterinarians call it, and laypersons, is a virus in the herpes family that typically causes respiratory infections in horses, and on occasion can cause abortions in pregnant mares. And on rare occasions, there's a neurological form that causes hind limb weakness, dribbling urine, and other neurological problems, and ultimately, in some cases, death.
How is this disease transmitted from animal to animal?
The disease is spread, can be spread either through aerosol, so through breathing and droplets, or it can spread through humans, through people touching or working with one horse or another, by sharing tack between horses, as well as just secretions from the mouth, from the nose, and those kinds of things.
We're dealing with a national outbreak at this point. Where and when was this disease first found in this most recent case?
Well, it's believed that the source of the infection was probably an infected horse or horses at the Ogden, Utah event that was at the end of April into early May. And that was the National Western Championships. And from that event, we found out that many states have reported positive horses, including Colorado, Utah, California, New Mexico, Idaho, and a number of others.
You've mentioned the states. How many animals are we talking about nationally that have been infected?
Well, the latest count, and this is a rapidly developing story, but at latest count, we think there's 33 confirmed positive horses. As far as the number of animals exposed, we think there's about 380, certainly in the high 300s, that attended the event, and probably twice that many that were exposed to the horses that attended that event. So quite a number of horses. So
approaching 600 nationally, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the situation in Montana? What have we found so far?
Well, we've been fortunate that we haven't had any confirmed cases in the state yet. So the greatest impact so far is canceled events and rescheduled shows, and certainly that's been a tremendous inconvenience for folks. And then there's been the impact of folks that went down to that event. They're now looking at their horses, they're taking temperatures twice a day, and they're into some kind of a voluntary lockdown too. So there's some limits on horse movement.
Has there been surveillance going on? Has your office been involved? Is it local veterinarians that are doing the surveillance? How do we know what's happening in the state?
The primary contact, or the primary folks that are doing the surveillance is, as far as sampling horses, is local veterinarians. But the owners and the trainers are the ones that are taking twice daily temperatures on horses that have been exposed, and then taking the bulk of the animal movement restrictions.
What are some clinical signs that horse owners can look for if they suspect they have it? What should they be on the lookout for?
Well, temperatures is an elevated temperature over 101.5. 101.5 is really the most reliable indicator that there's something going on. But obviously, horses spike temperatures for many other reasons, and in fact, even some infected horses don't have a temperature. But temperature is the most consistent sign to look for, and that's why we have asked owners and trainers to take temperatures twice daily of those horses that are exposed. Aside from that, you can have respiratory symptoms, so they can have a runny nose, they can have some shortness of breath, and then the neurological form, as I mentioned, has the hind limb weakness, has dribbling urine, has incoordination, and potentially death.
What can horse owners do? Is there anything they can do to keep their horses from getting this?
Yeah, well, just general farm infection protocol is one of the best ways to try to prevent this disease from spreading. So we're talking about separating sick horses from healthy, using clean tack, having different persons take care of sick horses than healthy horses. If the same person is taking care of both, then you want to work with the healthy horses first and save the sick horses for last so you don't transmit the disease. A strong relationship with your veterinarian is also key, being able to make sure that you're up to date on all that information and that you're using sound management practices.
If people are traveling to events, what kind of things can they do to keep their horses safe while they're there intermixed with other horses?
Well, you know, certainly some separation between the horses is always good, so bring your own water bucket, tie them up separately. I've also advised a number of the event coordinators that they may ask the attendees to take temperatures on their horses for several days previous. Certainly gathering some historical information as far as travel history, whether they've traveled out of state, been in touch with horses that attended the Ogden event.
As you said, this is a rapidly developing situation nationally and here in Montana. Where can people keep up to date on the information and on the most current information that we have?
Well, we've made a fair bit of effort to get folks up to speed through news releases this week, so certainly read the paper. Also, again, your private veterinarian is a good source of information. I've sent a number of updates to our Montana deputy veterinarians, so those folks are real good sources of information. And we've also set up Twitter as well as Facebook that we're trying to keep updated somewhat regularly. So those are all great sources of information to keep up to date.
Okay, and above all, go to lib.nt.gov. Dr. Zalewski, thanks for being with us today, and should this become necessary, we'll have another update for you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.